What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 36 of my Total Warhammer 3 Drycha Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Colas and his ranged / elven army managed to defeat the forces of Grom, or specifically ambush the forces of Grom, and then afterwards defeat them. We are now poised to attack and raise and then retake Castle Carcassonne here, which will be all of the territories surrounding the woods, the Athaloran territories, at least on the Bretonnian side. We will still have the Clan Angron dwarves to consider, and it's probably only a matter of time before they come to burn us out of the woods, but I'm sure by then we'll be able to send a few armies their way without too much trouble. They really don't like us. Oh, they hate the fact that we've allied with Sylvania, eh? Well, unfortunate for them, because that's definitely going to continue being a thing. And we're going to continue giving Vlad more stuff as well. Though it would be nice to branch out so that, well, branch out, so that we don't have too many things, or too many territories given to one ally. But anyway, now we have a couple battles that we ended off last episode with that were potentials for this episode. The first one was Daretalk to attack the Blackstone post, and a pretty massive pile of units here, and though I still feel like Durthu would probably be better at it and would probably gain more money from raising it, being a more seasoned lord and all that. I'll think about that one. What about the other one, however? Dulcith, yes. You could attack Grease's Goldtooth and acquire that Grease's Goldtooth trait, or defeated Goldtooth trait, or whatever it's called. And then, I think there was one more somewhere, but damn me if I remember it. It wasn't Isalal. We're gonna, oh right, Akka. Akka's in range to kill Skarsnik for good one last time. And I believe he already has the defeated Skarsnik trait, yes? And just to double check, Grudge Killer, Sneaky Smiter, Ambush Success Chance. Yeah, okay, so we do have that, which is swell. I feel like we probably want to destroy this faction, because Akka's drawing closer and closer to the Forest of Gloom, and we've been really wanting to get to that. And the faster we destroy everything around here, the better. Unfortunately, that will mean this little Dwarfen stack might come back, but we'll see. Honestly, if we could only use like some of our movement points, it would be swell. What if we were to no, I was just thinking, if we were to go into ambush, maybe it would allow these guys to jump over and for us to attack them then. A possibility, I suppose. But for now, let's apply the points and then let's attack Skarsnik. So, Akka. Now, you don't actually need the red line, technically, at least not yet. You will later on, because you're gonna swap out those dryads, but for now, it's completely useless. So in that light, we will continue making you stronger. You do have to pay attention to what we have in terms of points remaining. Although I suppose we could also just ignore all this. Well, you know what? Let's get Violent Delights. And then let's start building for the inevitable treekin units that are going to be in this army. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. So, Skin of the Woods, and incidentally, how much would they cost to build via global recruitment? Oh, they're actually quite cheap. So, Akka could do that at any time, really. Because I really wanted to make his army a little bit more hybrid. Especially since he's a Lore of Life, and he's not going to be the Speaker of the Wild forever, especially as there are other lords that could very well use it, and now that he's not going to be fighting the orcs for a while, he doesn't get as much benefit from it. Also, you, Waystalker, our highest level Waystalker that should have never really been in this army. You have basically everything, don't you? I guess we could get spread control. Alright, well, and just so that the points don't stand out. Alright, attack Bartorg. Let's see if we can get everybody to move outside the settlement, and indeed we can. Alright, well, that I'm glad of, because I think it'll be a more fun fight outside. That is a lot of goblins, but even though they're tiny, that's plenty of a meal, I think, for all of our beasts. Here we go. Alrighty, well, we may have a lot of goblins to kill as Skarsnik will move in from his reinforcements, but we're going to start off by killing an orc war boss instead. We are going to both... wow, he's already... he's already broken and terrified. Yeah, so the Waystalker and Ak are going to work on him together, and it looks like he'll be done for quite quickly. Looks like Ak might be a little bit too slow to catch him, unfortunately. The Waystalker can, of course, run around and arrow him to death if he likes, but that might be a waste of ammunition, so instead we're just going to send our giant wolves to catch him and hopefully kill him while our units, or our lord and hero, move back to the actual army. And will the giant wolves take care of this? It'll be close, 358 HP. Oh, is he gonna get away? 203? Come on. I mean, we don't actually care whether he does or he doesn't, because frankly, this faction will probably be destroyed no matter what. And actually, this unit's probably so damn... Oh, there's one wolf. I like how the other guys stop. This one's just like, nah, guys, this one's mine. I got this. I've never seen that before. I find it very interesting that the entire unit stopped and then just one model moved in. Good job, buddy. Good job. I wish that the unit that got the kill would like upgrade into, I don't know, a dire giant wolf or something. But anyway, here come the Gobos. They seem a little bit upset at one of their orky friends getting killed, although that seems fairly uncharacteristic for goblins. In fact, if anything, they'd be pretty amused by the concept. But the anthill has been kicked and they coming. Skarsnik is also leading them, of course, but I'm sure Akka can take care of him without too much trouble. There we go. Akka's just waving him on in. As for our deployment, once again, very, very simple with this army. We got the Dryads out front mixed in with the giant spiders to provide poison, and a single unit of feral bears in case the piles of trolls charge in. Then we have giant wolves and feral bears waiting back behind the main line to apply themselves where needed. That is still a lot of enemy units, if nothing else. Granted, the goblins only have 45 leadership, and between all the fear and terror that our units can cause, they probably won't have much of a front line fairly quickly, but we might get overwhelmed. Plus, there's a decent amount of enemy range units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units that I can see. And that's what the giant wolves and possibly the bears do. You need to make sure that they work on. There's another unit of trolls moving in on this side as well. Well, anyway, Akka's going to march through the enemy that are trying to move ahead, and he's going to go after those trolls and then switch to Skarsnik shortly as well. Looks like he brought down one of the trolls with a swing of his staff, and the bears can hold the trolls off, I'm sure, while he works on Skarsnik. Looks like the trolls and the goblins are both terrified away from Akka, as well they should be. The orcs should all know Akka's name by now, and so should the dwarfs. He's killed a lot of both of them in his time here, and will soon probably be killing ogres as well. Good job, Akka. I've grown very attached to him. Alrighty, well now the battle is truly joined as the front lines smash into each other. The giant spiders, of course, going to be a little bit in the way, but they do have a tendency to do that. Our hawks are going to fly overhead and, of course, are going to land on the enemy ranged units, try to silence them. Of course, they are targeting Akka, who probably isn't going to get too badly damaged by them, especially considering he can heal himself. Other than that, it looks like Skarsnik is already broken. There's a pretty darn big stat disparity there, especially when Akka has his buffs up, so hardly surprising. And just look at the amount of enemy units that are wavering right now. Granted, if we don't chase them, a lot of them will come back, but yeah, this is roughly what we were expecting, because it is goblins and they are low, as we were saying, on leadership. Alrighty, bears, work on those trolls, don't let them come back. Pretty critical that we bring down as many of the trolls and orcs, if nothing else, because the auto-resolve of the next battle will necessitate, or will be a lot easier rather, if those guys are dead. Aka's gonna try to chase down Skarsnik, and by the looks of it, Skarsnik's having a tough time getting away, and will be brought down. Huh, I think maybe he's trying to move into this direction instead. I imagine he should be quick enough to escape Aka, but he didn't try very hard, and I guess this is how his faction dies. Alrighty, well, fairly well to you, my friend. The battle actually, surprisingly, is not over, though we are chasing quite a lot of units, and frankly, all of our dire giant wolves, as well as our hawks and our bears, are busy. It looks like there's a couple units still fighting. Wait, you guys are all broken. Where are the units that are fighting? Is it just these guys? Is this one unit of Orc Biggins that's fighting? Huh. And kind of interesting that this one unit is keeping the entire army on the field, but as long as they don't break, other units may come back from their route. And gotta send somebody to kill these guys. But yeah, this battle very quickly turned into just chasing as many enemy units as possible. I suppose it's a good example of an enemy army that lacks good leadership, like if this was a historical title. Lacks the discipline, I should say. Although they looked somewhat disciplined as they came in, it didn't last long and they were too fearful to stay on the field. Anyway, with that, the entire enemy army breaks. It looks like those units of Biggins do not stick around for long. We do have a fairly large unit essentially penned between our own units here, so our hawks and our bears and such can feast. And otherwise, it's just a matter of seeing how many of these guys we can bring down. But of course, we've seen a lot of chasing, so once again, I'm just going to speed this up. It'll take a bit. Plus, we may have other battles to get to, so let's not waste too much time here. Alrighty, get those Orc Biggins. I believe this is the Garrison Orc Biggins, but judging by the fact that it's a leader unit, so pretty critical that we kill those guys. And, oh wow, 909 out of 990, interesting. Not a lot of losses. Not a lot of losses at all, considering we were facing against 4,000 units. And that is not a place that you guys want to be. Alright, and there we are. That should be the end of the battle, unless I'm missing something. Okay, there's a couple units that are still routing, but it's pretty much done. I wonder how many kills the spiders got. Let's find out. Because obviously they're not as good at chasing as the other units are, but they were chasing for quite a lot, and some of them were chasing independently, so maybe they actually accomplished something other than applying poison and taking hits. Ah yes, game. 5% losses are roughly a little bit more, and that's a close victory. Sure, you keep telling yourself that. And we're gonna heal to max and be fine here, so we'll be able to auto-resolve the Pillars of Gregny to death. And we have no choice in the matter. I was maybe thinking about going here and then ambushing, but it looks like we are stuck by the pillars, so we're gonna auto-resolve it. And we are going to raise it for another 18k. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, and I guess we're gonna stay close enough to take it over immediately. Which, sure. Colonize it, build it, and then we'll have to decide whether we want to wait to build the sacrificial grounds in order to attack Karazakarak, because, well, it'll probably be worthwhile considering it's a pretty big settlement. It's a tier 4. It's probably going to be worth a lot of cash for raising it. Which would mean we might be better off jumping down here and taking these guys out. We have 5 territories on the Karazakarak dwarfs, though, so it's unlikely that we'll be able to destroy them for good here. Really, Aka needs another army, as in nearby. Also, I'm just thinking here, if the Speaker for the Lost has to probably have a half-elven, half-treekin army. I was originally possibly thinking of doing that with Isolal, but do the... wait, let me just see here. so if we take... No, not at that, at the ancillaries. If we take a look at this, we have the War Dancers. Do we have anything that increases the power of the other elven melee units? Let me just see here. I don't believe we do, as in the Wildwood Rangers. So the Wildwood Rangers don't have stock, do they? They have hide, forest, blah 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 blah, no stock. And unless they can be given stock by a Glade Captain, who gives them Vanguard deployment, but not stock, but, well, Vanguard deployment's still swell. And you also give Vanguard deployment for War Dancer and Blade Singers, and stock for yourself if you're touched by Loek. Are these guys then... Wait, where can we build them from? War Dancers. These guys also do not have stock, they still just have hide. Damn. Okay, well it looks like then neither one of them will be able to stock together with the Shuriken, so ultimately then it doesn't really matter which ones we build here. So the Speaker for the Lost can be you, and then you can just build up an army with Wildwood Rangers as well as Shuriken, I guess. Once again, I'd love to do that with the just double checking here with the War Dancers, but yeah, Shadow Squill for you, Attribute Stock for you, but not for the War Dancers and Blade Singers. Oh well, not a big deal. Would have been nice, but, well... And just to double check, neither one of them can stock, right? No, they both have the Shadows Coil and the other thing, but they do not have stock and only hide. The stock symbol has a little arrow beside it, right? Like if we take a look at, let's say, you... Yeah, you had a little arrow. Well, that's a shame. Oh, the Deepwood Scouts do have stock. Really, the Deepwood Scouts have stock as well, but the ones that are touched by Loek do not. A little bit surprising, if nothing else. But oh well, it's fine. We'll deal with that when we start building up our new army. So, next on the menu is either attacking with Daretalk, or leaving that to Durthu and sending Daretalk down to Altdorf so that we can give that to Vlad. Also take out Ubersreich. These guys have retaken it because we left it a ruin. But you know, I think we want to take this out. Dulcith, let's do this little ogre battle. I've been itching for a proper ogre battle. Yeah, Drycha got one, but it's not like it was all that difficult in the first place. You can have... I guess some spells. Alright, you have Visen's Wild Form. Let's get you Flock of Doom. Probably not all that useful against ogres, but level 1 Pans isn't all that useful either. And you don't have Scent of Blood right now, so yeah, those are the only options. The Firemouth is not a main settlement, by the looks of it. So we're free to attack this in a field battle. Alright, field battle number 2, here we go. Take out the Firemouth. I'll have to give some chase to those ogres. Pyrrhic Victory, eh? They do have the Powder Guts, which are a fairly scary unit, plus Greasus himself, but we'll try our best to distract him, though this will be our debut battle for our Zotes, and of course we'll be building more Zotes in this army, as that's going to be part of the plan. So that should be a fun time. Let's get started. Huh. Okay, it looks like Dulcith is not going to make a speech this time. He's the strong, silent tree man type. So here we go. Looks like we are going to finally catch Greasus. Dulcith's been hunting him and his tariff-applying defeat trait for quite a while. So as long as we can manage to pull this off, we're looking good. Plus, this is the debut of our Regiment of Renown of Zotes. Of course, we'll be getting a few more Zotes into this army, and possibly a few others as well. But it'll be nice to see them and their attack animations. Plus, we gotta figure out a way to make sure that we get good use out of the dampen effect that they provide. Like Drycha, they do that minus 20% spell resistance. So we gotta actually have spells to back that up. Greases is out front, in front of his army, which is probably a good thing. It's probably where you want Greases. He's fairly difficult to bring down, and he's usually so slow that he has a difficult time entering the fray. Otherwise, most of our units are just going to go straight in. We're not too concerned here, but we might have to work for it a little bit. We do have a decent amount of bears to bring those ogres down, so the anti-large is certainly there. But the enemy has a decent amount of troops as well. Our flyers are also going to move to the edge of the map, and they are going to try to hunt down that Powder Guts man-eaters with ogre pistols, mostly because I don't want those guys firing at Dulceth, as they might be able to bring him down. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd rather not risk it. And the Zotes, of course, are going to move in where they're needed shortly. Alright, the bears are in, and the Iron Guts are going to have to face off against those. Of course, those gut plates should protect fairly well against the bears' claws. Probably also going to be difficult to get purchase on a belly with their teeth, with that gut plate in the way. But maybe it's just easier to kill the ogres and then feast later. Alrighty, well, I doubt the bears are gonna go hungry tonight if they manage to win. Greases, however, is still in the middle of this fight. Fortunately, he's poisoned by the spiders there, but he is probably gonna get a decent amount of kills, and indeed, he already has 19, and that's pretty darn solid. Now, the main portion of the battle, however, will have Dulceth joining the fray as well, and Giant Wolves are going to help out with Greases as well. He doesn't have a crazy amount of armor, even if he does have a decent amount of HP and possibly some healing via his army abilities. But I'm reasonably sure that we can bring him down here. Oh, Dulceth has a poison attack? I forgot about that. Wait, he's magical fire poison. Huh, okay. Fair enough. Ooh, and yes, the Zotes. I've been waiting for you guys. Let's see those animations. Alright, come on, bring those mauls down. Okay, the ogres died really fast. I wanted to see those crackling lightning animations as they smash the ground. It looks quite nice. Ooh, and the roots coming out of the ground as well. Oh yeah, that's nice. These guys have some flashy damn animations, you gotta admit. And they also fit in quite well with our forces, don't they? I mean, obviously they're designed to be part of our faction, but specifically I'm thinking of the attack that Drycha has when roots come out of the ground, and the Zotes do the same thing. I'd almost be tempted to put some Zotes into her army, but I think her army is probably already disgusting enough as it is. It's not like it's run into anything that has really threatened it in a while. Anyway, let's check back on the rest of the battle. 3 minutes in, the balance of power is still fairly even, a little bit in our favor, but just a tiny bit. Our aerial forces have landed among the Powder Guts there, but it looks like the enemy reinforcing Tyrant has come in and has gotten quite a few kills, 4 kills on those poor Great Hawks, who are quite fragile in general. So yeah, a little bit concerning there. Plus, of course, the man-eaters with ogre pistols are pretty good in melee as well. One of our giant spiders is running away, and it looks like a couple more units might be on the way as well. But fortunately, this flank does appear to be victorious. Our giant wolves are chasing down some basically dead ogre bulls, and I imagine the bears and the dryads here are going to be able to kill the rest of the ogre bulls that are holding, especially once the giant wolves are done chasing and can hit them in the back / the sides. Alrighty, and away they go. Greases still has plenty of HP, however, so he will still be fighting. Just trying to reorient himself. I like how they added that turning animation, where he pushes his cart thing with the big old club there. Huh. Wait, so if he goes the other way, does he push off with the haunch of meat there? Guess we'll see in a second. He always seems to turn this way. It can't be that he only turns one way. Ooh, nice hit there, staggering Dulceth. But maybe Dulceth can stagger you right back. Actually, I'm not actually sure that Greases can be staggered. Oh, actually, was that a stagger or was that an attack? Maybe it was a stagger. Alrighty, well, either way, now that Dulceth is focusing on him, Greases is getting a lot more beat up, dropping down to about 40% HP. I keep wanting to call them Dragon Ogres, the Zoats have made their way through another Saber Tusk pack as well, and are heading in to try to help out against those Powder Guts, and hopefully against that Tyrant as well, as he has done a number on our poor Giant Hawks. The Bats, fortunately, are still holding him and the Man-Eaters in place, and you gotta love this regiment of renown. Let's see if the Zoats can deal with this. There we go. Here come those magical Lore of Life Mauls. And now these guys should be brought down a lot quicker. The Powder Guts are nearly done for, and maybe with the Tyrant surrounded, they can bring him down as well. Greases has also basically done another couple hits should and do him in. Come on, Dulceth, finish this. You gotta earn your defeat trait, man. It's almost unfortunate to be destroying the Goldtooth faction, just because it would be nice to get the defeat trait on more lords, mostly because, once again, there's a very limited amount of income that we can get. But what can you do? We're here, and even if we don't kill Greasus right now, our allies, the Cathayans, would. And down he goes. Dulceth has earned his defeat trait, and with that, the rest of the enemy army falls. The Zoats haven't quite managed to kill the enemy Tyrant, but it looks like they have him somewhat surrounded and trapped, so some more hits will be applied. Too bad we don't have any single target spells like the... Oh, I don't remember the name of the spell. It was one of those Befuddlement of Mistress, but that's the Nen of Amantok. One of those spells. The one that does single target damage. The one that Coadil has. I haven't actually built an army around that. I feel like it's not going to be this one, though, but... Then again, I gotta figure out which kind of Dryad we gotta put in this army. If we put two, we might have room for one of those, but it might be nice to build an army that's centered around it with a Lord that has that ability, and two Dryads that have that ability, and then a bunch of Zoats to dampen in that army. Ooh, wait, maybe a Lord that has that minus 25% magical resistance trait, or spell resistance. And there we go, it looks like the Zoats do bring the enemy Lord down after all. Very, very nice, and with that, a Pyrrhic victory and the enemy is dead. Of course, we don't actually care that much about the victory status here, as we didn't really take all that much damage, and I think most of it was confined primarily to our spiders. The Dryads, or the, not the Dryads, the Giant Wolves were a little bit hurt as well where they were fighting, and same with the Bears. But once again, we're in our own territory, there's no one near enough to actually concern us, and we can raise new units should we need to. Hey, we got a free Talisman of Endurance out of that. Very nice, very nice. Another 10k, a little bit of XP, and it did turn out to be a fairly fun battle after all, because, well, it's a fairly basic army, and it's nowhere near complete, so we'll have to see. Ironically, well, I guess it's not yet time to switch, or well, maybe it is the time to switch. Maybe I should have switched offices right before fighting this, now that I think about it. But oh well, we're gonna raise the place either way. Got a free Royal Standard Bearer. There's that defeated Grease's Goldtooth trait. And I guess you're not gonna move away, which means we can colonize it and heal up out of there. Yeah, what I was saying was it would have been a lot easier to fight that if we had given the Speaker for the Wild from Akka to Dulceth here, who will be leading such armies. I also would like to give him those Zoats, but wait, is this Greasus' last territory? Yeah. Okay, so it looks like he's dead. And if he's dead... Ooh, Grimgor's come. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, well, Dulceth obviously can't fight that. That is not super likely. Where's he going, I wonder? So he's only at war with Goldtooth. I wonder where where he's gonna go after Goldtooth is done. But damn, 5 Arachnaroks. Okay, well, we obviously need bears as well as Zoats and other things to fight those. I think it might be too risky to globally recruit Zoats here right now. What can we raise, incidentally? We could get 2 bears on the field, which we'd probably need to fight those Arachnaroks. We have the spiders. You know, I think perhaps we will lose some bats. We can always raise them back up. Let's do this. In fact, let's also do this. I know that we'll lose veterancy on them. And this is sort of a just-in-case thing. There will not be any dryads in this army anyway. There we go. That opens up 3 spaces, and I think I want 4 Zotes here. Is 4 too many? Maybe 3? You know what, let's do 3 for now, and then we'll see. I don't want to set, like, I do want this army to have the Zotes, but I don't want to center the army around them so much that we're wasting the Speaker for the Lost, which doesn't buff them. Or the Speaker for the Wild, rather. So maybe 3. Let's do that. We could always put some Zotes in another army if we really feel like it, and still no Mortis Engine, eh? Okay, fine. Fine, and... oh, right. There was a couple of other things that we potentially wanted to do. Well, we don't need Terracotta Sentinels, but the War Compasses. I do like the idea of the War Compasses, and I'm very tempted to put 2 of them in Durthu's army. Why? Because the spells that they cast aren't going to be any kind of harmful to the Malevolent Treekin, and let's face it, he has a lot of Malevolent Treekin. In fact, wait, 4, 8, and 11. Oh, 12 actually, there's the Firebark Elders as well. Yeah, you know what? If we have 12, that's pretty perfect. Because... if we put 2 per Malevolent Tree Man, we'd only need 10. And then the other 2 can be War Compasses. Granted, this would mean Durthu doesn't have an all-tree army, but considering the fact that he's currently our Speaker for the Forgotten, which gives him greater Arcane Conduit and that extra Spell Mastery, we get even more Spell Mastery out of a couple of War Compasses. So I do like that as well. I mean, I guess we could do 4 War Compasses, but that feels unnecessary in his army. Anyway, that's probably what we'll do with Durthu, but since those take 2 turns to recruit, we won't be doing it right now. In fact, I think this is probably the place where we're going to call it. So next time, we will have Drycha march on down to fight this Ogre army, which is going to be pretty big. We'll decide whether we want to attack via Air Force at the Blackstone Post or have Durthu do it. It'll definitely be an easier fight for Durthu, so I'm kind of a little bit more inclined towards that, because Daertok's army was originally meant to fight humans, not the dead. The problem with the dead is that they cause fear or otherwise cause terror, which makes them immune to the same from all of these units, which is something that we were definitely planning to rely on. On the other hand, we'll see. Alrighty, so that'll be that battle plus Drycha's battle, so that should be that, and we'll possibly see about Akka here fighting some dwarfs and maybe raising that army. I was going to try to raise it this episode, but we need to end the turn to do it. Much as I'd love to stay on turn nice forever, the new lord is needed so that he can actually build them. Ideally a Lore of Shadow, or we just summon another Lord and just transform over. Maybe we'll do that as well. Find out next time. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.